Whole lot. I have music on in my ears. I think this laptop needs to be higher. That's better. Oh, there's a hair on my face. Hi, guys. Well, thank you. I should just be honest. I don't mean to get better for I'm more or less do. Sorry, I got token in my ears. How is everybody? How the fuck you suck that much? Oh, I got a pretty van waiting in a minivan. Sup, everybody? I don't know what I'm doing. I'm waiting. Hello, Blue Moon, Marquet Treebark, ZV, and BDFS Minotaur. Okay. That hits my brain weird. I read that as BDSM minor for some reason. Auditect, hello, greetings. Problem of reading too fast. Making calzones nice. I'm making fried rice as per the title. Felix, Jaden, hello, hello. Just call me BD or Minotaur. Okay, gotcha. I have music in my ears. I'm looking for a specific song. Also, I didn't eat your fucking baby carrots. Yes, you did. Stop putting shopping carts in my yard. The neighbors are getting scared. No. No, you will keep getting the shopping carts until you admit that you ate my baby carrots. Thank you. I've worn this before, the Powerpuff shirt. Okay, I gotta wash my rice. Wash your rice. You make forever do a rhyme. On a pose, on the stage, I don't know. Shit. Smart girls give the best head to the best poets. Unless you're making risotto, then you don't wash the rice because you need the starch. You miss it. You used to miss it. Do you listen to music when you cook? Yes, just not when I read, apparently. It's falling, I'ma put it back together evenly and never give a thank you what is love. Help me just to string me and only kiss me to shut me up. With a bam that isn't fair, my God, that isn't blood. She can help me sleep, convince him it isn't drugs. Truth is in me, she isn't drunk with a invisible cup. I promise that isn't it. I'm probably making too much rice, but whatever. I'll have to perks of a percocet. Dirty now, dirty flesh. Dirty flesh. All I see cows that are constant. All I see cows that are constant. Dirty flesh. Entertaining you to make the child sing it comes and vibes. I am only the virgin voice. I'm not ignoring you guys, I promise. I'm just washing my rice. Can't read chat from here because I'm blind. I don't know. That's right. Blech. Okay, so wash your rice. Like I've said before with rice, um, I mean, you can follow the instructions on the bag, or you can do it the like Asian way, which is how I've been taught online. Uncle Roger taught me how to do fried rice. Okay, that's how I learned is by watching his videos. So the best way, especially if you're using a rice cooker, is when you touch the very top of the rice. Like, say this is the top of the where my rice sits. I touch like rest my finger on it. And you want the water to come to your first knuckle. Wee! Oh, I got a little much in there. And like you need to like set it down on a surface, like make sure your rice is like level before you do it, otherwise you're gonna like be messing it up. And we're good. Salt your rice. Measurement? I don't know, like somewhere between 1 and 2 teaspoons, I guess. I eyeball it. I eyeball everything that I make. I mean, there's nothing wrong with using measurements if you need to. Just once like you've made something enough times, you don't really need to because or you end up not needing to because you know what like a teaspoon of salt looks like. Oh God, you're planning out fan art, Jaden? That's so sweet of you. What's ever gonna be for Halloween? I don't know. I got that glow in the dark onesie. My hair, I have not brushed it. I got that glow in the dark onesie, so I mean, I'm pretty much covered. Courtney start a restaurant. Give me the capital. Jesus, those things are expensive. Rice grain is my favorite. Aged basmati is my favorite. I got this. I'm pretty sure you can get it in store. I bought it off of Amazon because I don't drive and I don't want to be carrying literally 10 pounds of rice on top of all my groceries. So I got this stuff. It's like $10 on Amazon. It's got a resealable top. I bought this like months ago. Probably like 6 months ago now. It's extra long. It's good. Um, Indians and Asians know their rice, okay? I trust them. There's just a bucket of rice in the kitchen. Oh, I'm pretty sure Mexicans are big on rice too, or like just any fucking Latin-based people that aren't white know their rice, so I trust them more than like Uncle Ben's, which is definitely a white people brand. Your rice cooker on, that would be a good idea. Um, yeah, I don't got much like fried rice. I'm just throwing it together because like I don't really ugh, eyeball. I don't really have like much for dinner, and fried rice is easy because you can just throw whatever in there. I'll finance your restaurant once I'm rich and famous. All right, sounds good. You have a rice cooker? Yeah. It's right by the rice. It was like 25 bucks at Walmart and I got it on sale for like 15 bucks. I bought it like 3 years ago. I don't just use it to cook rice either. Like I used to use it just as a pot. Oh, rice cookers saved my life. I used to be really bad at making rice because like grew up with minute rice. You stir it, but you don't stir actual rice when you cook it. So I was always bad at it, and it's just super easy to just set that and forget it. I mean, I turn it on and it turns itself off when it's done. It's fantastic. I love it. I mostly like to bake. ZV said, I love baking, but my oven's broken. So the display is blinking there. Yes, the display, like there's something like fucked up something happened with the wiring. So like there was an electrical short or something in the display. So now the whole oven doesn't work because it's fucking electric. Stovetop still works because it's just knobs, and I miss old ovens where they were just knobs as well because this wouldn't fucking happen. The joys of like home ownership. Gonna replace that son of a beach. If it's just jealous, it's not as nice as hot as you are. That's funny. I use the air fryer, which is right there. I use that for most of my baking that I tend to do. I saw that seventh ring. Give us your best. I should probably put the hand down. It's just that face for me is just like, what? It's really hard saving up for a new one. Well, see, thankfully we don't actually have to get a new one. Like we don't have to get like I say we, it's my boyfriend who has to fucking pay for it. He doesn't have to get a whole new oven, just a new display, and then hope to God he can wire it in without fucking something up. I say that as if he doesn't like fix everything in the house to begin with. I learned a long time ago, you don't tell that man he can't do something because then he's 100% going to do it. If it's like, oh, there's no way you're getting that done, it's done. Just a matter of time, to be honest. It was just like one thing. I was like, dude, there's no way you're gonna do that. Like, there is no way that is like going to come to fruition. And then like 2 days later, he's like, guess what I did? That was yeah, just a lesson was learned that day. Yeah, we chopped the veggies. The other thing, like the best tip I can give for fried rice is shit goes fast when you're actually cooking it. So like prep all your shit ahead of time. I got regular onions. I got small, tiny amount of green onions because my onions were growing and then they just decided to split at the top instead of keep growing normally. So yeah, they're a little sad. Well, I got leftover bacon and this pork chop I don't know what to do with, so that's why we're making rice. Oh, eggs. Fried rice, like it's called egg fried rice when you put eggs in it. You don't have to, everything's optional. Protein you want, the fucking veggies you want, all veggies. I'm just doing corn because I don't feel like doing beans. Someone ate all my baby carrots, so my kid won't stop ripping ass. Ah. One of the cats that we have does that. She's she's gotten the name Death Breath because like that cat's got halitosis or something. Not a fan of onions. It tastes kind of weird. No shade to onion lovers. Well, I mean, is that all onions, Evie, or is it just like white onions? Because like the different onions taste differently. I'm not big on fucking like the texture of onions. I don't really like raw onions unless they're red, but they're like for me the flavor of onion is important in cooking. So yeah, see, this is a yellow onion. This one's the one that's kind of spicy. White onions tend to be sweet. Red onions tend to be sweet. Green onions tend to be more mild. I like eating garlic raw. It's kind of spicy. Okay, but are you eating garlic or are you eating elephant garlic? Because elephant garlic is actually more of an onion than it is garlic. See, I use a lot of things in cooking that I don't personally like eating. Like I'll use onions, but I don't like the texture of them when I'm eating them. I use mushrooms, but I don't like the texture of mushrooms. Regular, I don't know why I just like eating it. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. I've just bought an elephant garlic enough times going, hell yeah, garlic, giant garlic, and no, it tastes more like onions. Uh, I should probably chop shit. I don't know, I'm tired today. Fucking cats were bastards last night. Well, my cat was a bastard last night, I should say. I think I have everything out. I don't need to take the corn out because it's frozen. It's just gonna thaw, and I don't need that. Just eat the whole thing. No. See, I don't. I never used to be the biggest fan of garlic, to be quite honest. Um, I really didn't. And then I say I got COVID twice, but the first time I never got tested. It was never like confirmed, but my roommate got COVID and was tested and confirmed. And then I got like sick immediately after and was like, we were sick the exact same. I consider it COVID. I didn't get it tested. So some people get mad at me when I say I had it twice. But the first time when I had what I highly suspect was COVID, um, I lost my sense of smell. Like it was completely gone. I couldn't smell anything for like a year. Even after not being sick anymore, like a year later, I still couldn't smell anything, which really affected my taste. And then when it started to come back, um, I know there's like names for all this shit, but when like my sense of smell started to come back, everything, especially meat, smelled like garbage. Like everything smelled rotten and horrible. It was the most ridiculous thing. And then as soon as that faded, I like a lot of things just tasted different to me than they used to before I lost my sense of smell. So that included garlic. And when I got my sense of smell and taste completely back, I just fell in love with garlic. So now there's no such thing as too much garlic. How many pill bugs do you think you can eat? 0. I'm not eating potato bugs. Just no. I'm not eating bugs. Garlic fries. Just garlic in general. Big ol' knife. Make sure your knives are sharp. Okay. If your knives aren't sharp, that is exactly how you're going to cut yourself. Courtney, that makes no sense. No, it's actually like statistically, you are more likely to cut yourself on a dull knife than you are a sharp knife because a sharp knife is going to find purchase and cut where it's supposed to. A dull knife is not going to find purchase, so it's going to slip. When it slips, if you're cutting something like this and it just decides to slip, that's where you end up cutting yourself. Get one of these. They're cheap, they're easy, they work. No. Eh. The COVID thing with no smell. I mean, it was a bit of a blessing and a curse at the same time. Like, cleaning the litter box had never been easier because I literally couldn't smell it. But it also meant, like, I couldn't tell if things were gone bad or gone off. When I had 0 sense of taste, I was drinking it was funny because right before I got sick, I had gotten, apple pie moonshine, and I was drinking that bitch like it was water. Because I just couldn't taste or feel like I could feel the alcohol burning my throat, but I couldn't taste it. Means also couldn't taste the apple pie in it, but that was sad. But when you're that drunk on moonshine, you kind of don't give a shit. And when it comes to green onions, you don't fry the green part, you only fry the white part. The green the green part you just sprinkle on top like a garnish in like the very last few seconds of cooking. I don't have a whole lot here, but green onions are one of my favorites. Green onions and red onions are my favorite. And when it comes to chopping, you don't need to be a Michelin star fucking Asian speed demon with the knife. Because one, that's how you're gonna cut yourself. And two, it's more important that your food, your veggies and shit are cut evenly. Because then they're gonna cook evenly. If you've got like massively big chunks and massively small chunks, and this isn't just veggies, this is anything. Like it's not gonna cook evenly. You're gonna have burnt bits. So just take your time and make it even. What kind of thing can I bake? I can bake a lot of stuff. If you give Courtney cigarettes, she gives you rare artifacts. I mean, that's not entirely false. I've seen people cut themselves on Hell's Kitchen. Well, yeah, because if you're fucking racing against the clock and you're more concerned about time than you are with what you're doing, you're gonna cut yourself. Oh, I'm a lightweight too. Don't get me wrong. I'm a cheap drunk. I got like blackout drunk on that stuff, but I wasn't. I was sick with what I was pretty sure was COVID. I wasn't going anywhere. I was just drinking myself stupid so I didn't feel the body aches and then went to sleep. Watch any cooking shows? Not really. I used to watch a lot when I was a kid. I just don't really watch TV. I sit on my phone and computer and watch YouTube all day. She gets drunk from tap water. No, but I do get drunk embarrassingly fast for a newfie, and I get like white girl wasted and I get sloppy drunk and it's bad and it's embarrassing. So I just don't do it. That's why I'm not a big drinker. I also learned to drink from an alcoholic. Don't do that. 10 out of 10 would not recommend. Oh, when you're cutting the onion, like a white onion, if you don't cut this root part like I just cut through, you're not gonna like burn your eyeballs. Um, I just don't care. No pain, no gain, you know? I've been cutting onions since I was like 12. I just don't care anymore. I should do a drinking stream, like an age-gated drinking stream, but a drinking stream nonetheless. Oh, this is a juicy fucking onion. Can you guys see that? No, you can't because of my white cast. Do a drunken Q&A. See how pissed you can get me? See, that's the thing. If I know you're trying to piss me off, it's a lot harder to piss me off. Oh, pissed as in drunk. My bad. Do you ever make banana bread? Yes. I've made banana bread. I have made lemon poppy seed loaf. Love making brownies, medicated and non-medicated. What else? I don't know. I'll bake just about anything. I love baking bread and cinnamon rolls, like dinner rolls. Turn this while I'm chopping. I bake cakes. I'm not like the best baker in the world. Like, don't get me wrong. Like, a box cake will get you a better cake than I can make from scratch, but I still like to do it. Still tastes good. It's just not something Gordon Ramsay would be happy with. But that's fine. I don't feed that son of a bitch, and he doesn't pay my bills, so he can suck my dick. Actually, if he did, that probably would pay my bills. Can't seem to make banana bread right. Are your bananas ripe? Overripe, sorry. Like mushy, and when you take them out of the skin, they kind of smell like garbage. Yeah, that's how you know that's when they're right. That's when they're proper for banana bread. And if it's literally just not coming out of the pan right, just use a baking sheet. Like use parchment paper or tin foil or something, line the pan, and then you could just pull the whole thing out. And the best way to make your if you want to like make banana bread, but all you have is like fresh bananas, stick them in the freezer for a day. They will turn black, and then they'll be good to go. See, onions chopped, no tears. If you don't hang your face over top of it, it's also better. It's like burnt and raw. Okay, that might be an issue of like the oven that you're using. Like, how old is it? When's the last time you replaced it? Because you may have like shit, I just lost onions on the floor. You may have like shitty heat distribution going on. So you have like uneven heat patches in your oven, so it's just not cooking evenly. Because if you've tried different pans and that's still happening, it's probably your oven. It's just about 4 years old. I mean, it shouldn't be doing that, but there could always be a factory defect. But that definitely sounds like you've got uneven heat distribution, which is fucking up your cooking. But I mean, it's fine. Baking actually is more difficult than cooking. Cooking is a lot easier because you can measure with your heart, whereas baking, there's a lot of things that have to be very precise. And if they're not, everything will go wrong. Your streams give off being in sixth grade and the high schooler chose to talk to you vibes. That's cool. I'm glad. It's the kind of vibe I like to give. The reason I wanted to cook was because of Studio Ghibli. Yeah, that's fair. I I don't know, I grew up like having to cook. After a certain age, it was like, okay, you help with dinner, like peel the potatoes or take the chicken out of the freezer when you get home so that it's thawed by the time mom and dad get home. You peel potatoes, put them on the boil. It just became like steps. And then inevitably it was, I cook better. I don't want to eat your food. Fuck it, I'll make dinner. My mom can make like 3 or 4 things really well, and then the rest is just like boil it in cream of mushroom soup, and it's just disgusting. It's not good. Overcooks everything too. Like, it doesn't help that my dad eats his steak like shoe leather. I make way better savory food, but that's again, that's because it's easier. Baking is a lot more precise, because it's not like it's a lot different than cooking. Cooking is just you make food so it's not going to kill you and so that it tastes good. Baking is chemical reactions, right? So that's basically science. It's a lot more delicate than just I like garlic, so I put in a shitload of garlic, or I'm a smoker, so I heavily season my food. I never understood how people can eat steak well done. You get a very sore jaw from all the chewing because it's like eating shoe leather. Personally, I like my steak anywhere from medium well to blue rare. Uh, Frankly, the more rare it is, the better. Eggs, because egg fried rice. I'm a smoker, so I heavily season my food. Well, I do. Like when I make food for people who like don't smoke, it's usually too like strong in some regard, which I never notice because I forget that being someone who's smoked for like 12 years, 15 years. Yeah. I forget that it messes with your taste, like it dulls your sense of taste. My boyfriend's been smoking like probably 25 years at least. And he puts what I love to call an ungodly amount of pepper on his food. Like when I have to when I put pepper on his food for him, like I'll put on what I think is enough, and then I'll put on what I more so that I think it's like, oh God, that's too much. And then I'll put on more, so I'm like, who the fuck would eat that? And then it's perfect for him. He likes his pepper. We're also both smokers. I don't have cream for those. It's fine. Just break my nail. I did. Fuck me. Oh no, that's where you caught it with the knife, you dummy. Yeah, I need to buy more pepper, use the rest today. I've been out of pepper for like a month now because, like I said, this man eats an ungodly amount of pepper. I'm whisking eggs, by the way. Just in case anybody's wondering what that sound is. Whisking eggs. Hands are visible. Fucking age my stream YouTube. All I was doing was whisking eggs. Hello, Skipper. It's okay. We just started. Fuck salt and beans. You had salted black beans and you ruined it. I don't eat beans voluntarily. It's a texture thing for me. I just don't. I don't like the texture of them. So if I have to eat beans, I'll swallow them whole. Are you a fan of King of the Hill? Bobby is the best battle cry. Bobby couldn't fight his way out of a wet paper bag. But yes, I love Bobby Hill. That boy ain't right. Just got 2 ads. Oh my goodness. I do have ads on. They've run every half hour. So yeah, we just hit 30 minutes. I'm sorry you got 2. You guys can feel free to skip the ads. Like, I don't really care that much. I get money from the ads, yeah, but I mean, bubble tea and Rice Krispie squares. I'm okay with that. Just joined, left my hoodie. Thanks. Let go of my purse. I don't know you. I love Bobby. The other one's for a travel thing. Oh goodness. I don't travel. I don't have money for that. My traveling consists of moving. Ow. I think I'm getting arthritis in this finger because this knuckle has been hurting me for like a week now. My mother got it, and that's where she got it, and I'm about the age that when hers started, so like, yay. I do voices. I don't like to brag about it, but I do voices. I can't make up my own per se, but I'm pretty good at imitating voices. I don't know you. Like who? What? Oh, give me a SpongeBob. I can't do SpongeBob. Yes, go make your calzones, Evie. I do a really good Maury from Big Mouth. That one's really easy to do though. Oh God, I hope not. Maybe if it's animated, we can get away with it, right? Andrew. Okay, but who can't do Patrick? Patrick is just the quintessential dumbed down voice. That one's not very good. I'm not doing Squidward. I can't. Everyone go to SpongeBob. I haven't watched the last 2 seasons for Big Mouth. Um, I don't remember the last season I watched of Big Mouth. I think the last season I watched of Big Mouth was right before the other one that they did came out. Missy is my favorite Big Mouth character. Yeah, but I'm not gonna try and voice the black girl, okay? They already learned their lesson with that. I am white. Squidward is one of the most relatable characters ever. Human Resources, that is the one that I was thinking of. The last season of Big Mouth I watched was the one right before Human Resources came out. I mean, Big Mouth's not for everybody. I know lots of people don't like its humor. I like toilet humor. Like I thought Sausage Party was funny, so I've lived long enough to become Squidward. True. That's the one with Hugh Jackman. Is Hugh Jackman in it? I don't know Hugh Jackman was in Human Resources. Big Mouth apologist. I mean, I'm sorry you feel that way. The voice is Dante or whatever his name was. I don't remember. I don't like I watched Human Resources, but I didn't rewatch Human Resources. Sleep. Fuck. Uh, I gotta get in there. There we go. Sleep in it, pig. I'm talking to the guy who watches Paradise PD. Listen, Paradise PD was okay. Paradise PD was good, but it was not as good as Brickleberry. And I'm very glad that they did the tie-in. I don't care who thinks this show is stupid. It very much is stupid. It's made by Tosh.0, but it's funny as hell. Fight me. Rock fight me. Oh, put your hand right over the steam vent, you dumb ass. I hurt myself, guys. I hurt myself because I'm stupid. Gosh, Courtney, don't go and hurt yourself. But if I don't hurt myself, then what am I going to bitch about? Quick, get the princess band-aids. Please, God, no. I'm just a potato, guys. Just a potato. Regularly baked potato. And on that note, hey, Courtney, remember when Maury drew a picture of a unicorn? Yes. Yes, I do. I also remember when he was in a relationship with the wall. Hello, Jonas. You're sick as sin? Well, I hope you get better. I hope you feel better. Inspecting the vase? Yes, I am. I had to get a new couple of pieces for the vase yesterday or the other day because I broke mine because I'm good at that. And while I was at the shop, they've got a dab rig there. It's Cheech glass and it's cow themed and there's cows like all the fuck over it. And I swear to God, if I ever get that thing, I will hit it on the stream just for how good it looks. But it's like $250, so I'll never own it. And I'm not spending the money on dab shit. I'm just gonna hit regular bowls out of it. Dabs want to act like they're fancy and all, but it's just hot knives through a bong. Mild flu still able to work? Oh, gross. I hate that. I hate that for you. I wish you were able to take the day off. Frozen band-aids? I'd use a frozen band-aid. I don't discriminate. Anna and Elsa can suck up my infection fluid juices. Well, that sounded gross. Ever seen Bobby Hill on the trash team? Oh, that's a track team. It's covered by a little heart. It probably says track team. No, I don't remember him being on the track team. I remember him on the football team. I remember him on um football team as the mascot. Courtney Pete once said, yeah. Hey, listen, I got a lot of like notable quotables, okay? Since we're talking King of the Hill. I tried to do a dab once and couldn't. They're not for everybody. Like they're really harsh, to be quite honest. Like they're not entry level smoking, but it is really just hot knives through a bong. Like a lot of people acted like dabs were like so fucking new and like blah 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 when they started coming out with like pre-made dab rigs, and it's like no, stoners have been doing that for like eons, guys. It's not new. It's y'all just don't know how to MacGyver shit, and so somebody sold it to you. It's my purse. I don't know you. I could take the day off, and I was raised to thug it out. But ironic because I'm criticized by my parents who unintentionally taught me this, right? I fucking love that when they're old and like, why are you taking it so hard, sweetie? Listen, mom, sit your boomer ass down. The world ain't like it used to be. Well, I mean, it's not really like Dr. Migo. I don't mean like it was a trend that was taken. It's just that baby stoners who weren't alive back when like smoking weed was illegal don't realize that this is already a thing, so they think it's new. Like I've legit seen ceramic crushed can pipes, which is really funny because the only reason anybody was using a crushed can pipe is because someone forgot the downstem at home. Like nobody had shit but weed and a lighter, so like people had to get creative, and then now it's just like buy a ceramic crushed can or make one out of a can. I'd say for legal purposes it's a joke, but it's legal where I live. Whole countrywide it's legal. Edibles, extracts, you name it. We are allowed to sell it and do it and be high on it in public. Are you allowed to be high in public? I mean, if you're not unruly, they're not going to do anything. So technically, no, but well, see, I'm trying to figure out if it falls under public intoxication because it technically would. But you really got to piss the cop off for that to happen. And I've been with like I've been around people who like to piss off cops for fun because they're stupid like that. I mean, don't get me wrong, I'm very much a subscriber of generally a cab, but if you're just gonna fucking piss them off, of course they're gonna have a feeling about it. That's why, in terms of me, sure, I'll run my mouth until the point they're like, put your hands behind your back, because once they have the right to touch me, I'm not getting manhandled because I wanted to be stupid. How high would you like them, sir? I know what I'm got. That's why I ain't never been in cuffs. Well, police cuffs. I don't know, my ACAT thing is kind of shifting slightly. I've spent a lot of time recently watching like a shitload of body cam footage and just, man, I deck some of these people too. Jaden mentioned Lily, that's fine. Where? Courtney Side posted on her Lily blog and told me that Lily has an incest folder on her computer. Yeah, she's fucking, see, because she's stupid and she blasts like all of her files on screen because she doesn't know how to like screen share a specific tab. She only knows how to screen share her whole screen. Um, so she's constantly flashing her folders and like what was there? There's a game called Phone Slut, which hang on a second, I'm gonna close the door so my boyfriend can be subjected for this. Love you. There's a game in there called Phone Slut, which after research we found out that is a phone game, a mobile game where you play as the protagonist who's like teenage girl who gets blackmailed into sleeping with her father, her brother, and her father's coworker. Um, with parts of the game, including the girl writing in her the protagonist that you play as writing in her diary that her brother is stealing her underwear and that she keeps waking up sticky in strange places. Fucking she up until very recently when she leaked it on fucking stream and thus got caught. If you joined a certain tier of her Patreon, so if you paid her money, she essentially gave you access to a .rar file that she showed is on her own fucking computer that is like sister incest. It's like Ruby and Yang. I don't know what they're from. People know what they're from. I don't. And like up until like last night or something like that, she had it on her fucking Patreon, whereas like if you give her $30 a month, you get access to this RAR file. And like the file is full of art by an incest fucking creator, and it's nothing but sibling incest. Um, oh god. Oh, that's how we also know she's doing a video on Stockholm. You know, she didn't write it, she doesn't know anything about it. We're the fucking weird ones, but she's gonna make a video on it, guys. But yeah, the incest folder is the Ruby X Yang .rar folder that she up until very recently was selling to her Patreons. Watch her use that one gore content creator's fucking excuse of like, well, you can't be on Patreon spending money unless you're over 18, which isn't true. It's like you can't be on Patreon making money unless you're over 18. You can go in there and spend as much as your parents' money as you want. Plus the story she's trying to spin of like, my brother made me play a visual novel when I was a kid and it had incest in it, and that's why I go into everything unspoilered. Fucking when? Cameron didn't live with us. He plays shoot 'em ups, not visual novels, always has. He didn't live with us. He didn't live with us. How many times do I have to say this? You didn't visit him. He didn't visit us. You were literally not alone with him until Cameron was in his 20s and you were like 17. That's not a kid, Lily. It's a minor. It should be a child like as far as you're concerned, but in terms of like action and responsibility, that's not a kid. Remember Cameron Johnny caged his dad in the nuts? That was his fucking go-to. Whenever dad would correct him, he would get violent and start swinging, and as soon as dad would go to like stop him from swinging at his face, Cameron would just go swing at his nuts. Intentionally. He also shot our dad with a fucking pellet gun inside and tried to play it off as it was as if it was an accident. And again, he was in his fucking 20s then. He came back to the house like, no, he never came back to the house. He didn't come back to the house until he was an adult. Is she really making a video about Stockholm? Yeah, she is. Yeah, I appreciate that blue moon, but I mean, it was what it was. But yeah, it was shit. That's why I fucking got out of it, and that's why I decided, hey, oh my god, a bus shelter in the rain? That looks like such a better option. Sign me up. I'm down to clown. Like I said, I figured getting raped by a stranger was going to be easier to deal with than continuing to get raped by my sibling. I'm just chopping up meat. It's not the greatest cut of pork, so like I'm trying to get all the stringy bits out of it that I can. Because I'm a little particular about my meat. Or I'm a texture-based eater, I can't help it. Like this, that's not meat to me. I know it is, but like bleh, so much fat in that. I just don't like chewing on fat. I don't like that feeling. It's gross. All right, fuck it. We got what we got. We making fried rice, as in the title. Oh, the flame. Okay, my rice is cooked, my meat is chopped, my veggies are chopped, I need the corn. That's not a lot of meat, but whatever. Eggs. Okay. What's my charge at? Yeah, you guys can plug it. Move that. There, I think. Wee. Frying pan. Ever made a calzone before? I have not. But the boyfriend used to make pizzas, so he would probably be really good at making calzone. Clay is such a bad dad. Clay really is just a horrible person. How many tattoos do you have? Not many. I've got this one. I've got where is it? This one. Um oh, Charlie horse and my hip. Fuck. Come on, hip flexor, just agree with me for a minute. That one, which is supposed to look like garbage. And then shit. That one, which was a work in progress that I stopped doing. Is that a hummingbird? No. That's an eye of Horus. Stupid skin on my arm. This one's a cat and a dog. Eeh. They're laying together. The dog's the outer part, the cat's the inner part. The one on my ankle is supposed to be a shitty looking bear claw. The one on my leg here was a stuffed rabbit that was hanging from a tree limb that had the words dead bunny underneath it, but I was trying to redo it and cover it up with a tree. This is not good for my finger. Then I've got Mufasa and Simba here. And then I got Stitch. And that one I did myself. It's the only one I did myself that I'm proud of. Oh, my finger. I want to get a bunch more tattoos. Yes, I am wearing unicorn slippers. I gotta fry up the eggs first. Most recipes have you use oil. I use margarine because it's oil just solidified, and that's what I use instead of butter anyway, so. Get in it. Unicorn slippers are iconic. Thank you. Unicorns are one of my favorite things. And ironically, they were one of my mother-in-law's favorite things. Have you played Fallout New Vegas? I think the only Fallout I've played was Fallout 64. No, I think it was New Vegas or 3. I'm not great at shooters, to be honest, at first-person shooters. I got bad aim. I panic. I forget which buttons are which. I die a lot. I get frustrated. So I played it, but I've never finished it. I did watch the Fallout series though. I'm excited for season 2 because season 2 is doing New Vegas. Oh, that's sweet, Kiki. Yeah, I gotta get 2 tattoos for that reason. One for my mother-in-law, one for my surrogate mother. Both of them passed this year. Oh, thank you. Yeah, garbage. It's piled. Oh my God. Gets picked up every 2 weeks, okay? I'm not putting it outside because it's what the raccoons get at it. I want to be covered in tattoos, to be quite honest. I want more ink than pink. I've got a chest tattoo that I want to get. It's like a deer skull with the antlers going up my collarbone, and then like it's gonna be all covered in like ivy and plants and shit. Um, I want to get my entire back done. I've got 2 different leg sleeves that I've had planned out for years. I want to get a rose on the back of my neck. I have to get one for my mother-in-law. I have to get one for my surrogate mother. Like I got a lot, but they're expensive and I don't have the money. And I probably never will, but what's for dinner? Fried rice. Oh, I should check on my butter. Melt the butter. Ooh, that burner looks so pretty. It doesn't look like that to me. It's just a fucking little red light. It looks really pretty on screen. My knuckle hurts. The cats have left me alone for the moment. It's my spatula. Yeah, I'm doing this on camera. I am whisking eggs. That's what that sound is. Both hands visible. Whisking eggs. I don't have a wok, so I pre-scramble my eggs instead of doing it in the middle of the rice, like, you know, people who know what they're doing with a wok do. Medium low heat. Don't use medium high, especially if you're trying something new. Yes, it's going to cook slower, but you're also not going to burn it. A lot of people think higher heat will cook it faster. No, higher heat will just burn it faster, especially when you're doing things like scrambling eggs. I'm a little too low here. I need to go a bit more to medium. I'd like to eat tonight. Enjoying dinner with me. Beef stew. Nice. Great. That sounds great, Mr. Nameless. I love stew, actually. Oh, stew is delicious. Nothing more annoying than cleaning bird food. Nothing more annoying than smelling it or making it or eating it. Just don't burn your food. Yeah. I'm not. I guess I'm not super shouted today. Jesus, I need something to talk about. Ask me questions, guys. I don't know. Say something I can respond to. That was a whole lot of nothing and a whole lot of silence. Sorry, pug noises, pug noises. Ugh, my back. You don't understand, guys. I bent down to pick up a piece of garbage once, and now my back is permanently injured. I'm getting too warm in this, though. A little bit. It's warmer up here than it is in my basement. What's my favorite alcohol? Bailey's. Depends. Depends on where I am and what I'm drinking. I'm typically a lightweight, so I'm good with like a Smirnoff. Especially if you put grenadine in it. Ooh, then it's tasty. I like mixed drinks. They're fun. I don't like beer. I only drink it to impress guys. Not even gonna lie about it. I only drink beer to impress a guy. Or I'm with a guy I like, and like I want his friends to think his girlfriend's cool. Ugh. Turn your heat off when you're transferring things. Like even though you're using the same pan, you don't want it too hot. Use new oil every time. The eggs ate up all the oil, so I don't have to drain nothing. I just need to put more butter in. Margarine, whatever. It's like 70% vegetable oil. It's the same fucking thing. And a bitch is broke. Ads played on my videos. Yes, ads will happen every half hour. You guys can skip them if you want. It's a Canadian brand? Drinking Blackfly. Blackfly is good. Ugh. You don't have to be old to have experience with alcohol. I mean, you should be older, but I don't know. Like I said earlier in the stream, I learned to drink from an alcoholic, so I don't have the best drinking habits. And I get like white girl wasted sloppy when I'm drunk and in public, so I just try not to do it because I embarrass myself and other people. Favorite place to go visit in Canada? Depends on what you're looking for. I mean, Newfoundland's pretty as hell. BC is pretty as hell too, but Ontario is like the closest thing. Montreal. No, I love Montreal. Fuck that. Why did I even think about it? Onions. Always let your oil heat up before you put in whatever you're putting in, because otherwise it's just going to sit there and absorb the oil and get soggy and gross while it's waiting to fry. I'm going to let this cook down a little bit, and then I'm going to throw the meat in with a bunch of seasoning and stuff on the meat. Two birds, one stone. Plus then like the onion flavor gets into the meat. Been to any concerts? Only one in my life, which was a couple of years ago. My boyfriend actually took me to go see Outlast. No. What did we go see? Fuck. I know Blink 182 was the opening band, but see you on Halloween. Thank you. Offspring. That's who it was. He took me to see Offspring on like Halloween a couple of years ago. And Blink 182. Simple Plan. Simple Plan was the opening band. I literally, well, almost ran into and then fangirled over, but was too like, oh my god, no, I'm Canadian to say anything to Pierre Bouvier. It was so funny. The show hadn't started yet. We got there, we got down to the Rogers Center, and we're walking around, and the tour bus is out front, right? And people are gathered around the tour bus and shit. And my boyfriend's pointing out to me, he's like, "See, that's a distraction, so that everybody goes to the tour bus." And we're rounding around the side to this like unassuming, like almost employees only looking door.
And he's like points at it and goes, "See, that's the door that like the band is actually going to come in and out of." And as he's saying that, and we're walking past it, Pierre Bouvier comes out, and I'm just like, "Oh my god, that's oh my god, that's no, 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 don't bother him, Courtney. You're Canadian. No, you're Canadian, Courtney. Don't bother him." And I'm so mad at myself that I didn't bother him because I should have got a picture. He just waltzed up the road, probably looking for smokes or something. I don't know. I let him be, but I'm just like standing there, just like I just it's 5 feet, but but that was it. Lost my shit. He's been to like hundreds of concerts. He used to work for a company that did like light rigging for concerts and shit, so he used to got to go like travel with them. Um, he's met a lot of people. Shit, actually, I'm jealous of his life. But the sad thing is, we went to see Offspring, and we had floor seats. There were chairs in the floor seats. They had chairs bolted to the ground. We couldn't mosh pit if we wanted to. I was so mad. Seasonings. This is Cajun seasoning. I don't know. I'm just throwing whatever the fuck I want to season my meat and my onions. Throw in whatever the fuck you want. Although these two are mandatory. It's better if you have them fresh, but powder will do. Garlic and ginger. Turn your heat down while you're doing this. So nothing burns. Throw in more butter if you have to. Because yes, you can season your onions too. And it's more butter. Human, because I'm digging it lately. And that's it. I'm going simple today. Simple. I don't know how many other spices are in that Cajun spices, but yeah. Ha- Window open. Don't forget there's just full on autism blast about something and make your terrible words. I mean, yeah. My friend's got a boyfriend and he hates that bitch. Tells me every day he wants more dinero just to stay at home. Well, my friend, you gotta say, I won't pay ya, no way. No, no, why don't you get a job? Say no way, say no way, no way. What's my favorite Offspring song? It's a good question. What is my favorite Offspring song? You're gonna go far, kid? Maybe? No, probably the kids are not all right. Practice Santeria. You got a crystal ball. I had $1 million, but I'd spend it all if I could find that Hannah, that Sancho that she found. I'd pop a cap in Sancho and I'd smack her down. But I really wanna know Baby, what I really want to say is that I've got mine. No? I don't know that one. Oh, I lost it. I'm so have to wait till I get back to find a pen of my own. Daddy's gonna love one and all. I swear that what I really wanna know, my baby. What I really wanna say is there's just one way back. I made you. Tell Sanchito that if he know what is good for him, he best go run and hide. Daddy's got a new 45. Yes, I do know that's sublime for whoever's about to correct me. I won't think twice to stick that thumb straight down Sancho's throat. Believe me when I say that I've got something for his punk ass. What I really want to know, baby. What I really want to say is there's just one way back, and I'll make it. My soul have to wait. I love Sublime. Sublime is so funny. How many servings are you cooking? Enough? Too much? That's the sumbitch. Pretty fucking hot. Pretty when I'm drunk. You're pretty when I'm drunk. You're pretty when I'm drunk. You're pretty when I'm drunk. I made this much rice, so. You're pretty when I'm drunk. You're pretty when I'm drunk. You're pretty when I'm drunk, and I'm pretty fucking drunk. That's Bloodhound Gang. Let me tell you about a girl I know. I had a drink about an hour ago. Or downtown, well, sitting by herself. Get out. Typically for fried rice, like it's suggested you use day old rice so that it's not gonna clump together, but like I don't decide I'm making fried rice until the day I'm making it, so there is no make the rice ahead of time. So I just kind of overcook it a little bit in my rice cooker. So it dries out all nice and it doesn't clump. So you dump your rice in your it's better if you use a wok, but I mean use what you got, right? Dump your rice in your pan with your hot oil in it. You fry it up for a few minutes, breaking up the clumps and shit. Oh, I forgot the corn. All right, we're not putting corn in it because, like Uncle Roger says, vegetable tastes like sad. If you cooked your rice properly, it won't get mushy. Like it won't. Because there's not enough water or starch in it to get mushy. And that's why you wash your rice. If you have to strain your rice or it's mushy, you fucked up. Start over. Or you making risotto now. Commit. Meat and veggies. Eggs. Dump shit in and stir it. Medium low heat. Now, usually you gotta wait for the rice to heat up because typically you're supposed to do this with leftover rice, so it's already cold. So it's cold. My rice isn't left over. It was steaming hot, so I don't have to wait that long. Your best bet off for this part is to turn the heat off because otherwise your soy sauce is going to evaporate very quickly before you're able to get it all the way through your rice. Soy sauce. Measurements for this? Enough. I don't know. How sauce do you like your rice? Just do it to taste. I basically just do it until the fucking rice is like an even color of light brown. Like I want to look at it and be like, did I make that with white rice or brown rice? But I don't want it to be like that looks like it has soy sauce on it. I don't always get it in that mark. Sometimes I go over, sometimes I go under. It's not the end of the world. That's just whereabouts I'm aiming for. You like your rice different, make it different. It's the best thing about making your own food. You get to make it how you fucking like it. But I mean, if you're gonna show it off on the internet, it better look pretty. 90% of food is presentation. If it ain't pretty but it tastes good, do not share a picture. Nice. Like you don't want it to be wet. You don't want it to be soaking in soy sauce or water. Have I seen Tuca and Birdie? I have. BoJack is awesome. I love Tuca and Birdie. Tiffany Haddish is hilarious. Hell's Kitchen chefs lose marks if their food doesn't look visually appealing. Yeah, because like in terms of like somebody else eating your food, 90% like okay, not 90%, but like a good portion of how your food tastes is impacted by how your food looks. Have I ever worked as a chef? No, I've worked in a lot of like I've worked in a lot of fast food restaurants, but I've never been like a chef. No. I've been a baker. I'm not gonna lie, I prefer the second OP of Dungeon Meshi to the first. I've only seen the show. I haven't read the manga. Food looks like ass, I don't eat it. Exactly. Like there's certain things that I make because I know I like them and they're not visually appealing. Like and some of them are recipes that came from my mother. Like what we call chip beef on toast is actually made with bacon typically. But it's basically just like biscuits and gravy, just bastardized. It doesn't look good when you make it. It looks like a slop with bits of bacon bits on top of some toast and you eat it with a knife and fork. But oh my God, does it ever taste good? Howdy, I'm back. Did I miss the rice? I mean, yes, we did just finish it. How far do I think I would get if I were on Hell's Kitchen? Not far at all. I'm not. I'm not a Michelin level chef. I'm not a chef. I just cook. There's a difference. And like I'm not gonna call myself a chef. I just cook. I do like feeding people. It like feeding people is a love language of mine. That's why I like to cook and why I'm pretty good at cooking, but I'm not like chef quality cooking. I don't have the knife skills. I don't have the palate. I don't have the know-how of like ingredients and how they go together and like flavor profiles. I don't get any of that shit. So like I ain't a chef. I just cook. Like to get better at cooking. It's just practice, Omni. But, yeah, it's just practice. You just do what you can and you try the things you can't do and you keep trying them until they're things you can do. What's my favorite thing to cook? I wanna say lasagna, but at the same time, I love making a pot pie from scratch. Like chicken pot pie from no, chicken pot pie from scratch is like my favorite thing to cook. That's like a whole day endeavor, to be honest, if you're making it right from scratch. But uh it's one of my favorite things to work to make. Will you still be live when you get off work? You finish your shift at 7 p.m. Well, what time is that? What time is it now for you, Aaron? Because it's 7:43 for me right now. Imagine if Courtney pulled some TikTok chef bullshit while cooking. I could probably make some of those recipes work, ain't gonna lie. It's 6 p.m. Will I still be on in an hour? Yeah, I think so. I gotta feed the boyfriend at some point. Although, this is exciting news. Tomorrow, as long as I get some more chores done today and make sure I get my chores done tomorrow. I say that like I'm a toddler, but they're chores I give myself. Um, I get to play Baldur's Gate 3 again because I play like I don't have a computer that can run or even install like that I can even install Baldur's Gate on Baldur's Gate 3 because it's such a large game and it needs so much. But my boyfriend has a gaming computer, his gaming computer that he's had for like over 10 years and longer than we've been in a relationship. So like I respect his computer. It is not my property. He was when someone went and bought me Baldur's Gate 3, they bought it for me because he said that if I got the game, I could play it on his computer. The computer had some issues. We had to replace a part on it, whatever. And when it got back from getting fixed, or like part of what we thought was the issue was like space. So the deal always was that I got to play my game on his computer as long as it's not inconveniencing him, right? So I don't play when he's home because it's his computer. He plays his games. Um, and if he needs space, my games are the first to go because it's his computer. It's like it's perfectly fair. So he needed space, so my game went, and he hasn't had the space to put it back on. But because he loves me and he is the best boyfriend ever, he went and spent a whole day figuring out how to unlock like a whole terabyte that's on his computer, and then said that I can play it when he goes back to work, which is on Monday. So I get my game back. Who am I go to romance if anyone? Everyone. Like, don't get me wrong, I've played the game before. I've put an embarrassing amount of hours into this game. I think I'll have to look at it, but I think I'm somewhere around 800 hours. I could be remembering wrong. I've got too many fucking hours into that game. I've finished like 3 playthroughs at least, 3 or 4. I want to do a god mode run. Oh, that's so sweet. Isn't it? Isn't it? He's the best. I love him so much. He's like, guess what? He's like, I got you a thing. He's like, guess what? Like, I got a thing that you can do again. And I'm like, Baldur's Gate? I get my vampire twink back? And like, I can stream myself while I'm playing it on this computer, but I'm not allowed to stream on his computer, so I can't like screen share the actual game footage. But if you guys want to watch me play and like say everything out loud, then I will do that. Use that ladle. Oh, my boyfriend is honestly the best boyfriend ever. Everyone needs a partner like my boyfriend. My favorites are Astarion and Halson. Not gonna lie. That's a straight up fucking lie. My favorite's the Emperor. Baldurin is my king. Fight me. I don't give a I'll be right back. I have to bring food to the boyfriend. I'm back. Get off my table, cat. Do 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 do. Sorry, I'm just catching up on chat. But yeah, I think my first playthrough of Baldur's Gate 3, I slept with 12 people. So like Astarion, Karlach, Shadowheart, Halsin, the Drow twins, both together and separately. That's why I count them as like one each. Harlip, the Emperor, Mizora. I'm forgetting some. Who else can you bone? I mean, every one of your teammates, but that's like if you bone some of them, other ones won't bone you. Like it's a time thing. Um, Gale tried to jump my bones, but then I had sex with someone else, and he's like, "Oh fuck that! You're tainted goods." Yeah, I mean, it. It's really funny because like ever since my first playthrough, it doesn't matter what I do. Not Karlach, Lae'zel throws herself at me constantly. Her approval is like here, everyone else is like way up here, and she's like, okay, but like bone me, please. It's like, ma'am, calm down. You're supposed to be like a Vulcan, aren't you? I'm not asexual, but like I'm not too big on having excessive sexual content in my games. Well, that's the thing. You don't like you can completely skip the sex scenes. You can completely not engage in the sex scenes. There doesn't need to be sex. I'm not gonna play Baldur's Gate 3 just to bone the characters. I mean, that's why I play it. Not even gonna lie. I'm not even gonna try. I saw too many videos of Astarion and went, oh, okay, well, like, I want to fuck the vampire twink. So, and then I looked at the game when I was in a group chat with a couple of people. I was like, oh, it's like 80 something dollars. I will never have that. And then someone was like, oh, here, and bought it for me. I can lose the V card by playing Baldur's Gate. No, Audit Detect, you can't. No, that's not a thing to do. That one's gotta happen in real life. Like an actual person has to touch your special place. But yeah, I absolutely do not care about the Stelmane thing. Baldurin's my king. And then Astarion's my lord, because you know he ascended. Because I don't deprive my baby girls of what they want, okay? Astarion wants to ascend, you get your ascension, baby girl. The Emperor wants utter devotion, you get that, baby girl. If I eat that whole pot, can I call this a mukbang? Don't know much about Baldur's Gate 3. I mean, the best part is you don't really have to know much. The story is self-explanatory. Like, if you don't know the background lore, it doesn't matter. If you do, it just makes it more exciting. Oh, yes. Yes, you're very right on that, Iron Bowman. I rolled to seduce. I've never actually played Dungeons and Dragons, like, legitimately, only in Baldur's Gate 3. But I'm very fond of the idea, and, like, the problem is, like, I'm a bit of a chaotic evil at heart, and, like, I roll to seduce is just my go-to reaction. Not chaotic evil in the sense of like I just cause problems for everybody. It's just like, yeah, I may infest your house with rats because like they're cold and they need somewhere to sleep for the winter, and I really don't care about you humanoids. I can't ascend Astarion, like, you get all the sexy lines, but it still kills his character for me. I can't not ascend him. Like, I really can't. I, I can't not give him the ultimate power over everybody who's ever abused him. I can't not, like, I can't deny him the ability to never be in that position again. I'd cuddle him because sex ain't really my thing. Well, Marfate Tree Bark, if you actually romance him, you find out sex really isn't his thing either, and he's a lot happier if y'all are just not fucking. Like, if you romance Astarion, y'all stop having sex until, like, the end of the game, or if you ascend him. Because he's like, "Yeah, sex has always been a tool. I've always been used just as a sex object," and you can literally just tell him straight up, "Bro, we don't have to fuck." And then when you go see the Drow twins, if you're with Astarion, they'll be like, "Oh my god, your partner, let's, like, totally bang." And you can be like, "Oh, hey, Astarion," and he's like, "I'm not really ready for that." You'd be like, "Bet, no worries. He's off limits." But that's the thing, like, you once you get to know Astarion's character and you're romancing him and you care about him, you stop having sex with him entirely. I mean, yeah, he totally dicks you down when he turns you if you ascend him and let him turn you, but he's already got his power at that point. At that point, he's doing it literally because he wants to. Not necessarily for the same reasons someone else wants to. It's still just a fucking it's that little extra like, no, no, you're still loyal to me, right? The voice actor, his name is Neil Newbon, and he is an absolute king, and we absolutely love him and adore him, but we do not sexualize Neil. We do not sexualize Neil. We only sexualize Astarion because Neil is in a relationship. He is a happily married man, and he's very uncomfortable with all the sexualization of him instead of Astarion. So we don't do that to our king. Just saying. He is a genius of a voice actor. I love that man so much just for existing. Like, thank you for giving us Astarion. I miss when sex was just an internet meme before some sickos actually started doing it in real life. Autotech, stop. But yeah, I love Neil so much. Respectfully, from a distance, and not sexually. No, he actually had to come out and, like, make a whole statement of, like, how uncomfortable, like, it all makes him that people constantly sexualize him because of Astarion, and it's just like, "No, we're not gonna do that. We're not gonna make the man scared to give us another Astarion, please." I mean, Kiki, you can watch me play. See, I agree, Omni, but I'm also a little guilty of that myself. Fried rice is good, 10 out of 10. It's always good. It could use more garlic. I didn't put garlic in it when I was frying it, fuck. Could use more garlic. Um, I was about to say anything. Oh yeah, I'm a little guilty of that whole like getting weird about certain celebrities because like, have y'all seen Shorzy or Letterkenny or both? Yes, no, maybe so. Nope. Okay. I mean, it's Canadian, so it kind of makes sense. Well, y'all need to like go look at it first of all. I don't watch much TV. It's mostly online anyway. Started online. So Shoresy's a spinoff from Letterkenny, and Letterkenny was a show created by the actor who stars in it. His name is Jared Keeso. He also produces it and shit. Um, it started as like a little joke skit that he did on YouTube, and then it got traction, got turned into a whole show, and then one of the characters got a spinoff, which is Shoresy, blah blah blah. Anyway, Jared Keeso is the funniest man alive, and I'm so fucking in love with him to an unhealthy degree. I would leave my boyfriend in an instant and like go up to the backwoods of Quebec because that's about where he lives and make his new wife mysteriously disappear and then be there to comfort him over it because I'm psycho over this man. It's not great. It's not a good thing, but I ain't gonna pretend like it's not real. I'm so in love with Jerry Kiso. I would throw my life away for him. Just to have him brush some debris off my shoulder, I swear to God. All jokes aside, I couldn't pull that man if I tried. Please, I'd meet him, I'd fangirl and get shoved right in a fan category and screw any chance that, like, may have existed in my delusional ass mind. Stupid. I know what I am. I'm reading chat, sorry. My favorite MCU hero. Not as big into Marvel as I am DC. I kind of prefer DC. And even then, I'm not really as big into heroes as I am into like anti-heroes, and villains. To be honest, I've got hot take. I've got like an issue with comic book superheroes in the sense of like, how many people do you let die or get seriously injured or sick or whatever just because you won't kill one person? I got issues with that. I believe in the whole like, but it's wrong to kill. I don't really agree that it's wrong to kill a serial murderer. So that's kind of why I like the villains a little more, because like they don't pretend to have morals. They don't pretend to be on the right side of anything. Except for Thanos. But I agree with Thanos. I think Thanos was in the right. Population control. I mean, we do it all the time for other species. Why not have something else come do it for us? But it's genocide. Not really. Only genocide if it's specifically targeting one group of fucking people. 50% of you is not like specifically targeting one group. You want to kill half the world's population? I'm not saying I want to. I'm saying I agree with his logic. If you're talking about saving the world on a global scale, we're running out of resources like so fast. We're running out of space so fast. Do you know how an easy way to control that? Population control. That's why we do it to fish. That's why we do it to seals. That's why we do it to deer. That's why we do population control, because it keeps the species going on longer. But suddenly, when we're the species, the population that needs to be controlled, it's like a big deal. Kind of like the difference between we put down a dog or a cat or a horse or an animal to, prevent its suffering and call that a kindness. But when the thing that's suffering is a human, suddenly we call it murder and not okay to do. I don't see the difference, to be honest. Like, I don't understand why it's more kind to not let an animal suffer but more kind to force a person to suffer. I'm not saying I want the world to be fixed. I'm not saying I want us to go on as a species. I'm just saying I agree with the man's logic. Even if I'm part of the snap, hey, no taxes. Superman really struggled with the killing issue and got over it in one incarnation. Yeah, he also got like mind controlled by Joker into killing Lois and his own baby in another iteration. So like, superheroes in most media would be like, "This is fine when the entire parts of the world are suffering due to liberal capitalism and they have to overstop it." This kind of brings out more heroes. Brings me out of heroes. See, yeah, I'm not talking politically here. I'm not talking politically at all. I am talking about the fact of like how many times has Joker blown up a building or two or six or eight or a boat full of people or an orphanage or a hospital? Like how many times has like Superman chased a fucking alien around the city while it's literally tearing buildings down on top of people with people in them? Like it's just there's so many of them where like so much destruction in their own city happens just because like of chasing this motherfucker down, and every time like Superman and Batman alike, Superman will kill Batman. No, he wouldn't. Honey, contingency plan. Batman always wins. Um, but like Superman and Batman alike, they'll be like, no, 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 killing Lex Luthor or Joker is wrong. Meanwhile, they're tearing down half the city every time they get out of your prison, which is not good enough to hold them. Or, in Lex's case, he has the money to make it go away. Like, if you just kill the motherfucker, I'm sure you'll feel bad, but I mean, you don't feel bad that like 23 people lost their family members or parents in that building that collapsed that you're not going to pay to fix. I mean, at least Bruce will pay to fix it. Me with Batman is if you don't want to kill whatever, why you're preventing other people from doing it. Well, it's just what I mean. Like, it's just not even that. It's just oh, you don't want to kill Joker because it's wrong, and that turns you into the thing that killed your parents. But like, meanwhile, how many orphans have you made? How many orphans has Joker made because he got out for the fourth time because you didn't just kill him? I mean, pretty sure all those street kids that you adopted, Bruce, wouldn't be there if Joker hadn't murdered their parents to begin with. I mean, God knows Jason Todd wouldn't be with you. Lord knows fucking Dick wouldn't have been with you. So like, who are we saving here other than our own guilty conscience? The realism is out of it. But the other thing is they weren't written for realism. It's a man that can fly and a vigilante that never seems to get caught. Like, they're not made for realism, and I do get that. Batman with boyfriends with Joker, prove me wrong. No. Like, Joker's obsessed with Batman, don't get me wrong. I also hate what they did to Harley. Hate the emancipation of Harley Quinn. I'm sorry. Call me what you want to call me, but that bitch's supposed to be a case of Stockholm syndrome, okay? Her brain is broken. Joker literally fried it and then dumped her into the same chemicals. She's psycho. You're not fixing that. That's why I like the New 52 Joker the best. Because at one point in the New 52 series, Joker kidnaps Harley because she's emancipated. And she wakes up like chained up in this basement, this like crypt like kind of thing. Like her hands are shackled to the wall, and all around her there's different stages of decomposition, like bodies and bones and skeletons all wearing like the Harley Quinn outfit. And she wakes up to him just being like, did you really think you were the first? Did you really think you'd be the last? So, like, Harley's not even the first Harley. And, like, Harley's always been my favorite when she was Harley Quinn. And I'm sorry, if you take Harley Quinn out of Harley Quinn, you just have Dr. Arlene Quinzel back, if that's even possible. She's not gonna be a vigilante. If the girl knows anything, given how smart Harleen Quinzel is, she would have learned her lesson and stayed the fuck she would have moved out of Gotham. Are you kidding me? No, Omni, that it absolutely was that. Because, like, how do you think he knew what he was doing so well? How do you think it worked so well? Because it's not the first time he's done it. They've already canonically made Joker an eldritch horror now anyway. In one of the universes, mind you. And that's the other thing. I really don't like the lazy ability of, oh, it's just another universe. That pisses me off. So Helton, she loves how she gets out of Joker's grip, but that's the thing. Harley never wants to get out of Joker's grip. She wants nothing more than for him to love her and give her a kid. And then he does. And she doesn't tell him. She doesn't tell anyone. Doesn't even tell Ivy. Only tells I think it was Black Canary when they were fighting. She wants a baby in love. Yeah, she gets the baby, realizes that Joker does not love her, will kill this child, and goes and like fucking dumps the kid off somewhere else to be raised and never tells Joker about his own daughter. Snart isn't in I thought Snart was Marvel. Wasn't Snart in the Flash? Wait, no, Flash is Marvel. Flash shows you how much I know. I don't even know that Flash is DC. Oh yeah, the DC multiverse, the MCU. My bad. I just lost my I lost my nerd card. Um my favorite, oh, I forgot the fucking green onions too. My favorite Batman villain is the dude who kills all his family members. What was his name? I just know a lot about Batman because my ex-husband was obsessed with it. Batman villain targets family members. That guy, yeah. I'm trying to find this one bad guy. I never remember his name. I keep confusing him with Zaz, but he's not Zaz. No, I'm gonna see him. Excuse me. I'm reading a list. Sorry. How many clay faces, Jesus? Just 1 second, guys. Sorry. Bum, 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 bum. Ow, man. Can't find him. Anyway, I don't remember. Can't find him. Probably in the League of Assassins. Such a good character. No. Cletus Cassidy? Trying to remember. He's like the dude's whole shtick was that he was killing all of his family members, like all the way through his bloodline because he believed he got power if he did so. He wasn't like a super like used one, but his shtick was just my favorite. Ra's al Ghul? No. DC is so horrible in Nightwing. Oh, come on. Nightwing is a man whore. They firmly established that that dude is a fucking player from the get-go. Come on. Like, y'all realize when Harley jumped him like that, it wasn't the first time they had sex? Oh, they write that he actually gets raped? Okay. I believe that then. Of course he gets blamed for it. He's a dude. Dudes always get blamed for their own rape. My favorite Marvel character. This is someone else asked me, and the thing is, I like DC more than I really like Marvel. Spider-Man would have to be my favorite Marvel character, I guess. He's the only one I really tolerate all that much. And the only one I forgive for not killing, because he's a kid. Spider-Man for me is like freshman in high school, so he's like 19. He's a child. Starfire gets mad at him for it. She's all, you cheated, you asshole. Yeah, that happens in The Boys too. When Huey gets fucking duped by the tricked by the shapeshifter who had Starfire or yeah, Starfire locked up. And then she's like, "Oh my god, you're getting tested for every disease known to man. I'm not getting shapeshifter or syphilis, and like I can't believe you didn't know it was me." And it's like she was literally like she literally stole your likeness. How was he not supposed to know? How was he supposed to know? Like, oh my god, the person who set out to deceive you deceived you. That's your fault. No. But at the same time, I never liked her character at all. Like she's always been just like a whiny little bitch. She's like, me, gays, my privilege, my white rich girl privilege, my pageant winning ass privilege. I fucking hated her. Loved the show. Absolutely hated Starfire. I think Huey deserved so much better. Starlight, thank you. I was saying it wrong. Like Starlight Glimmer. No. No, I do love the show. I want to know why he calls it the bad room. I want to know why he calls it the bad room. We got an explanation. If anyone doesn't know what I'm talking about, and on like the one of the last episodes of The Boys, um, Homelander goes to where he was like made and where he grew up. And like he goes through each part of the facility and he's like, "Oh, I call this room. And do you know why I'd say that?" And then he tells a story about some horrific abuse that he suffered there and with like to the person who had abused him and then puts them through the exact same thing. So when he gets to the isolation room, which is essentially, he calls it the bad room, and like the curator is there, and he's like, "Do you want to know why I call it the bad room?" And that's the only explanation we never get. The next thing you see, the next shot of him you see, he's coming up the elevator all covered in blood, just smiling. The curator was left in the bad room with like all the other employees torn to shreds and like blood all over the room. But we don't get to hear what happened in the bad room. Same, Kiki. Same. And I'm so I hate when there's a thing that I know that I don't know and I don't get to know it. If I know it's there and I just don't know what it is, that 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 just pisses me off. No, the bad room isn't where they burned him. Because when he told the story about the room where they burned him, he was they were making shots into the basket, because when dude made a shot into the basket, he would celebrate by turning the heat up in the oven that Homelander was in. 'Cause that was the thing, there was a bit of a gimmick for every explanation. The oven, the room, his bedroom where he was watched and dude mocked him for masturbating in his dick size, and then the bad room, which was very clearly an isolation room, and we don't get to hear what happened in the bad room, and they better do it in the next fucking episode. Also, the way they did, Jeffrey Dean Morgan's character and that, like, whole reveal, I had to do a double take. I was walking away from the TV when it happened, and all I hear is him just go, "Would you shut up, bitch?" And I'm like, "He can hear her?" Lost my shit. I had to run back into the fucking living room to see what was going on. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, I'm not explaining it because spoilers. And some of you just don't watch, well, some of you just don't watch The Boys. Should probably watch The Boys. The funny thing is, I didn't watch the beginning of it. My boyfriend started watching it and like he loved it and shit. But it was more superhero stuff, and I'm like, "Hey, it's superheroes, I'm tired of it, whatever. Enjoy your show though." And then I think he was watching it and I was sitting next to him and I don't know what scene it was. I think it was the dick exploding scene. Something like that. It was one of those scenes, one of those wildly fucking CGI'd scenes that The Boys is so good for. And I was just, "What are you watching?" And I just kind of been watching with it with him ever since. I was shocked at Newman in the last. I don't know what The Boys are. So I'm picking at shit on my face because 'cause I'm all broken out. It's a show based on a comic book called The Boys, which is like a satire basically of superheroes and like corporate America. Because in essentially in the world of The Boys, superheroes exist, but they're owned by corporations. Like they don't actually save the world. They go do movies and like sponsor deals and like they're a figurehead on a poster. BF is obsessed with it. He really likes the one that has to lobotomize herself. Oh, Sister Sue or Sister Mary or something like that. The genius. Oh, she's hilarious. I love her so much. I got something else you can stick something in. My pussy. The way she just like loses her mind. I mean, that's fair, Jorthulu. It's pretty graphic. It's pretty out there. And a lot of people who like watched it and really liked it didn't get that they were the butt of the joke because like white supremacy is the butt of the joke in that movie. No, that movie, that show. That needs to be cleaned. It's weird that they're showing 2 ads at a time. But yeah, we're at the 2-hour mark, so. Yeah, they might demonetize the re-upload of it. I don't know. I haven't gotten demonetized yet. The closest I've gotten to was sorry, that hit hard. The ad sustainability, like the little yellow S. Don't really care though. YouTube give Courtney money. Yeah, they pay me at the end of the month, as long as I've made $100 or more. And then they take 25% of it. So I get, like, if I make $100, I get 75. It's going good, Aaron. I'm just choking on a bowl. I'm a smoker, guys, and I smoke bongs. And I don't have tonsils. So I got a lot of phlegm in my lungs that likes to come out. And because I smoke bongs, it's bong colored. This is what my lungs look like on the inside. I can almost guarantee it. This is what they look like. Don't smoke, kids. It's not good for you. Vaping's no better. And if you don't have tonsils, get used to chronic lung infections. Enough. Let that dry. Yay, you have a puppy. Which one are you like, Jay or Silent Bob? Jay. $15, little man. Put that shit in my hand. If that money doesn't show, then you owe me, oh. Oh, we, oh. My jungle love. That's how we did it in the 90s, son. Hey, baby, you ever had your asshole licked by a fat man in an overcoat? Excuse me. Use the bacon. Clerks 2 is the best. Have you seen the third one? They made another one a couple of years ago. It's I mean, it's good for the series. I just don't like the ending. I think it's stupid. But Jay and Silent Bob are back. Jason Mewes is fucking massive. And then, of course, Kevin Smith is fucking tiny now, and they even mentioned that in the movie, and Muse starts calling him, Snack Pack instead of Lunchbox. Yeah. It's is it Clerks 3? Or is it Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back Again? No, it's Clerks 3. Yeah, it came out, 2 years ago. Oh, I love Clerks. You need to blech. Go sniff rubbing alcohol, Jor Thulu. If you sniff rubbing alcohol, it'll like it it's temporary. Like you may have to sit there with it under your nose for a while until it fully goes away. But if you smell rubbing alcohol, it actually completely like makes the feeling of nausea just disappear. Jay and Silent Bob reboot was the latest one with them as leads. Well, yeah, but the thing is, they never started out as lead characters. They started out as skit characters on a skit show, and then they became background characters in Clerks. And then Kevin Smith has just kind of worked the two of them into just about everything he's done. Um, Jay's daughter in the new Jay and Silent Bob movie is actually Kevin Smith's daughter, and her name is actually Harley Quinn. Because Kevin Smith is a huge comic book nerd. I'm so cool to hang out with. Well, thanks. I am gonna have to go hang out with my boyfriend again. Have to hang out with. I like him more than you guys. No offense. He's my boyfriend. I am going to hang out with him again soon, probably in the next half hour. Yep. His daughter, Kevin Smith's daughter's name is why would you name your child after Harley? Because he is a huge Batman fan, like is a huge comic book fan in general. And because her name is Harley Quinn and because he's Kevin Smith, when they made the Suicide Squad movie, Harley's hammer, Kevin Smith got to take home and give to his daughter. Like, she's great, but I feel like you're just dooming your child. I mean, no, I mean, like, it's not like she goes by Harley Quinn Smith. Oh, she might, but sh her name's just Harley. It's better than naming your child Blanket. Just saying. Reading chat. Oh, acid reflux. You can't eat too much after 7 p.m. Sometimes you need to drink baking soda and water to burp. Oh, like Alka-Seltzer. Um, I don't know what your relationship with dairy is, Dorthulu, but like dairy will counteract like the stomach acid in your stomach that gives you acid reflux. If you don't want to be chewing on Tums and shit all the time, dairy actually will help. Just not when you're nauseous. Like if you're nauseous, dairy will make you vomit, but if you're not nauseous, but you've got like acid reflux going on, dairy can help. Lady Gaga is gonna play Harley Quinn in the new Joker movie. I know, and I love Joaquin as Joker. Oh my god, the man is a genius. I love Lady Gaga too. She's even great. She's a great actress. I'm so excited to see her as Harley. And I know it's not like super on brand Joker and Harley because they didn't have the licensing for it at first, but I don't care. It's beautifully done. And I've seen arguments where it's like, oh, it's not Joker, it's just supposed to be a villain. No, it's definitely supposed to be Joker. It was always supposed to be Joker. They just weren't allowed to call it Joker at first. My stomach issue spawned out of nowhere legit last year for no reason. They spawned its doo-doo feces. Did you by chance have like a stint last year where you went on antibiotics by any chance? I have seen her in American Horror Story. I haven't watched all of American Horror Story. I've only watched like bits and pieces of it. I watched the Sideshow season, like that whole season, but that's about it. Better than Sephiroth, I guess. I love Joker. He's the perfect villain. He really is. He is the perfect comic book villain. He's got no ulterior motive. He just wants to fuck shit up because when he does, Batman gives him attention. My stomach did that after almost dying. It's been almost 6 years. Again, how did you almost die, Kiki? Was there like a point in which you almost died where you were on antibiotics for a good while? Because it's weird the things that can happen to your body when like your gut biome gets fucked up. The problem is when you go on antibiotics, there's good bacteria that's supposed to be in your intestines and your stomach and your like gut tract and everything. But antibiotics, especially for a long time, will kill those off. And then when those aren't there, it allows like worse bacteria to form. So like it's really important if you go on antibiotics for a stint of time or like heavy antibiotics or like a strong prescription, you really should be eating like probiotic yogurt or something like that because you want the good bacteria to grow back into your intestines as soon as possible. Otherwise, you can get stomach issues and like lasting, sometimes permanent stomach issues. Honestly, the other one started after I stuffed one too many sushi bits in my gut, and then for the next month, almost every single night I puked. Some nights I didn't, and others I puked twice. Yeah, I'm willing to bet that you've got something going on with your like the microbes that should be in your gut versus the ones that are in your gut. I'm no doctor. I've seen a lot. Give like probiotic yogurt a shot and see what it does. Maybe. I don't know. But yeah, it's weird the things that can happen to your body if you fuck up your gut, like your gut biome. I don't know. I need music in my ears, guys. I'm putting my Muse apps on. Well, on for me. Not on for you. You had sepsis. There you go. That's sepsis literally comes with some of the strongest antibiotics known to man. And I'm so glad that you're still here with us. Holy shit. My boyfriend had blood poisoning a couple years ago, and it was a miserable, miserable time. So my condolences to the pain you had to go through. Right now, I'm listening to Hiss by Megan Thee Stallion. The night to rest. Lego. Be live. I feel like Mariah Carey. Got these so obsessed. My pussy so famous might get managed by Christian and next. Go we hook nose on a Tina so it's making help make money, bitch. Come be in my hoe. All of you bitches is weak on the Bible. Talk shit for when no one can find you. Never be judged by a bitch that was making CP and trying to go viral. Waking the sheets and don't know how to please me, somebody say fuck Megan and now I to tap it. They lower the value. It's if you're home turning a profit. Speaking of this, better don't give her the pussy again. Shit, should have gave it to his friends. These hoes don't be mad at Megan. These hoes mad at Megan's law. But the problem is, but I guarantee you don't want me to start. Bitch, you a pussy. Never finna check me. Every chance you get, bet your big ass won't address me. Finna just sounds weird coming out of my mouth. I'm so sorry. Favorite music artist? Probably Bloodhound Gang. Fake news. Using my name for likes and views. I don't give a shit. Oh, fuck. Yeah, I said a shit. Gives me handle shit. I'm a Teflon Don in the courtroom. On that shit, no shit stick. Xanax be they hardest bars. On BBLs be walking around with the same scars. Real curvy, no itching. Fight to get my section. Don't speak on my body count if the dick ain't worth coming back for seconds. Fake ass accents. Posting in another hood like a bad bitch. Those get views when they're trying to diss me. I was cleaning my bowl piece. If you're Jay, does that make my boyfriend Silent Bob? I mean, y'all don't hear him. Bye, Jaden. Have fun listening to music. Always got my ass out. Always let my titty show. When I'm in the gym, I think about bitches that I'm sitting on. I'm way too fucking cocky. Taking back if I've been cheating. If I've been cheating? Oh. Since I claimed the summer, all you bitches want a season. Ask her, why she don't like me, but she can't give you a reason. These bitches want to sound like Tina. Don't you ever grab a mic and think that me and you competing. Oh, survivor's guilt. That's rough, Kiki. I'm really sorry to hear that. It's not your fault. Why? Why you and not them? Random fucking chance. Random fucking chance. That's it. But yeah, that's oh god. My other favorite J lines. I gotta think of some. And let me put J in my ear. Crunchyroll, take me home to my waifus and my emotos. I love to see where he's doing the Buffalo Bill dance. He's just like, would you fuck me? I'd fuck me. I don't remember all of his lines off the top of my heart. Off the top of my head. I'm the click commander. See, I like Silent Bob's lines better simply because like they're always funny. Well, I'm glad I can bring some joy to you, Kiki. Fuck, motherfuck, motherfuck. Oh, noise. See, I don't know all of them off the top of my head. I don't know them all by heart. We smoke the blunts. 15 bucks, little man. Put that shit in my hand. If that money doesn't show, then you owe me, owe me, oh. I still love in the new one. It's in Clerks 3, where like weed's legal right at this point, especially in the state that they film in. So it's legal, and yet someone goes to buy weed off of Jay, and they do like this whole like covert fucking thing. He's like, man, don't let him fucking see. And he's like, what are you doing? This shit's legal. And then that's when he goes, that's how we did it in the 90s, son. I love it so much. Oh, look, my own stream. Mall rats. Oh, they were great in that. Now I'm just delving into clips. My bad. I'm just so rude. Are you as talkative in real life as you are on these streams? Yes, that's why I do these streams, because otherwise I talk it like this at my boyfriend and I drive him insane. That and I'm usually hanging out inside server like all the time. You and Jay, who I have quite common. Yeah, I do have a motor mouth. I'm a newfie. I was born to talk, baby. I do know what Vocaloid is. I remember when Vocaloid wasn't popular.
and it was just like leek spinning videos. Because everyone knows the polka leek song. Uh, there's a song I actually want to listen to. There's this girl I used to watch. It's not even that I used to watch her. I stumbled across her YouTube channel. Her YouTube channel's name is Senzawa. She's got like 1.21 million subscribers. I think she's like a voice actress or something. I don't know. I've always years ago I ran into this strong song she did, and it's this cover of Country Roads, but it's called Crunchy Roll. And it's about the streaming platform, and it lives in my head rent free. I'm all 7, time to leave work. I hate my dumb boss, think his name is Edward. My room is stinky, smells of cheese and weed. I kiss my body pillow and it's time to stroke my peen. Crunchy roll, take me home to my waifus and my emo toes. She's got pies and thighs and that. Oh, tits with eyes. 95, oh, I'm home. Crunchy roll. Her in my dreams, she's about as real as 2D can be. Her warm embrace reminds me of my own mother's love. Coming to, I wipe my drool and shake myself in my morning wood. Ah! She actually freaks out while she's saying it. Ooh. Take me home to my white stocking, waifus and my emo the pies and thighs and fuck. She got pies and thighs, but that ain't all. She got a heart so big anyone would want. Yeah, I've listened to it so much I know where she screws up in it. It lives in my head rent free. I think she was drunk when she did it. Oh, Harpy Hair. That's a good song. That song sounds terrible. It's supposed to be terrible. It's a satire song. She was drunk when she did it, and she does this like ooh woo anime girl voice. It was like also 5 years ago. Just lives in my head rent free. Ooh, sorry. So I say, be here, where have you buried all your children? Tell me, so I say. Those arrows that you've stolen, split in half, now bound and broken, like your heart that was so eager to be hid. She can't keep them all safe, they will fight and run away. Mother, tell me, so I say. I'd be here, where have you buried all your children? Tell me, so I say. I'd be here, where have you buried all your children? Tell me, so I say. It's story ceilings, sweater curtains that you're weaving, when stories that you keep inside your head. She can't keep them all safe, they will die and be afraid. Mothers tell me, so I say. I'm glad you have a good time, guys. She clogged. Oh, that's a bad one. No, thank you. Is it a harpy? Is harpy like harpies? No. Yes, yes, I am listening to Harpy Hair. Yeah, that was a bad one. Harpy Hair is fun to sing.
Ooh, you got KFC for dinner, nice. Haven't had KFC in forever. I fucking used to work there, and oh my god, I used to go home with like buckets of chicken every night. Because the one I worked at, they don't throw out their chicken; they throw it in the freezer and then they donate it. So I got to take home whatever I wanted. Bottle blonde, don't know what I feel torn. Wanna be an idle teen. Wish I hadn't been so clean. Wanna stay inside all day. I want the world to go away. I want blood, guts, and chocolate cake. I wanna be a real fake. Yeah. Wish I'd been a teen idol. Wish I'd been a prom queen fighting for the title. Instead of being 16 and burning up a Bible, feeling super suicidal. The wasted years, wasted youth. Lies the ugly truth, and the day has come where I have died only to find I've come alive. I love this song. Wanna be a virgin pure, 21st century whore. I want back my virginity. Same, girl, same. KFC isn't the, oh, I mean, in Canada, it's not the same as it used to be. A big mistake. Want blood, guts, and angel cake. Gonna puke it anyway. I got hiccups. It's a KFC Taco Bell. I'm at the KFC. I'm at the Taco Bell. I'm at the combination KFC and Taco Bell. Sorry. Does Taco Bell exist outside of KFC? Because I've never seen a standalone Taco Bell in Canada. I'm gonna chomp on my Wi-Fi if it doesn't stop lagging. I don't think that's gonna help it. Have you guys seen Lily's new cope? Well, it's not new, but it's recycled. About how the voice clip of her saying "Can't do Stockholm," I wrote that one, is fake or AI or clipped together. Funny thing that, because I have the whole video that sound clip came from. I might just upload the like 6 minutes of the unedited audio just to prove it's not clipped together. And I mean, if Lily copyright strikes it, that's her claiming it's original and unedited work of hers. So we'll see how that goes. Can't do Stockholm. She wrote that one. I'm the only one talking. What are you guys up to? I have to go shortly, to be honest. I could do dishes, but like I don't want to. Honestly, Kiki, same. She won't.
but I don't give a shit what she does with her other fucking pedophile sycophants. To be fair, her dead name isn't even her name. It's our grandfather's name and our father's name. It's a family name. Who would be a Palpatine maneuver? But like Palpatine said, do it. No, my dad didn't hate his father. They didn't have like the greatest relationship, but it wasn't a horrible one. That's why he named his firstborn after his father. Splatoon songs. I'll have to look them up. Now I'm just standing here talking now. No, the grandpa. No, he didn't hate Lily. Um, he just didn't know Lily. Oh no, that grandfather knew Lily. No, nobody hated Lily except like maybe me. If she had a son, do you think she would continue with the tradition as a name? No. Um, because like that's the thing. My father's name is Gerald. My grandfather's name on his father's name was Gerald. There's Gerald Senior was my grandfather, and then there's Gerald David, who's my father, and then my father continued that on with his AMAB child, his firstborn AMAB child. Um, like our grandfather didn't like that was the only grandfather that was like specifically close with the family because he lived relatively close. We used to go see him when they lived up in the Green Forest or Greenwood, whatever the naval base is up there. They lived there for 4 years, and we used to go see them like a couple of times a year. We used to drive up there. Um, they used to like send stuff once a year home from the Netherlands when they lived out there. I went and fucking like that grandfather had like three out of four of his grandchildren live with him in Iqaluit just to make money because the minimum wage was so high out there. Did you eat enough today? We're both underweight. I'm gaining weight. The last I checked, I was 130 pounds. So I got like 20 pounds to go, and then I'm in within healthy range. I never eat enough, but I did eat today. Oh, Lily's never gonna have kids. That'll never happen. Like, without a doubt, that's not going to happen. She's never going to be deemed qualified to be a foster parent or an adoptive parent. She's never gonna have the capital to be an adoptive parent, and she's never gonna find someone with a uterus that's gonna let her knock them up and keep it around her. Canadian family law tends to be heavily in favor of the biological mother. Thank you, Erin. I'm proud too, because I am underweight. Thanks, guys. Listen, food's expensive, okay? And then cooking is a chore. Sometimes eating is a chore. A lot of times what'll happen is I'll make dinner and then I just won't be hungry. No, it didn't sound sarcastic, Dorothy Lou. You're good. I've been through so much. It's still going. I don't have a choice. I tried to die. It didn't work. That's why I'm still here. I mean, I'd love to say that that answer is different, but it's really not. Fuck, man, if you guys were to go back and ask like little Courtney what she thought she'd be doing now, rotting would be her answer.
But no, apparently I'm jealous. Apparently I'm jealous of somebody so successful that they can't even hire a cleaning company to clean their wife's house. Just saying. Ba-dum, bum, 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 bum. Ba-dum, bum, bum, bum. Regardless of the fact of like I'm perfectly fine living like a broke bitch. I don't care about being a broke bitch as long as my I can pay my rent and feed myself and have my internet connection. I don't aspire to greatness. I never fucking have. I just aspire to be comfortable. I don't need to be a business mogul or somebody to fucking envy. I don't give two shits about that, man. I just want to be able to sit on my ass when I want to sit on my ass and do nothing when I want to do nothing. And that's all I want out of life. My weed to smoke, my internet to use, my cat fed, my rent paid. That's it. If I had millions of dollars, I would spend the time, I'd be giving it away. Like seriously, I'd have a food truck. I already have a food truck in mind for if I'm ever a millionaire, which it won't be, but it's called No Soup for You. Because homeless people eat for free and people who aren't homeless have to pay money, and I am the deciding factor on whether you're homeless or whether you have to pay money. What right do I have to decide that? Well, it's my fucking truck. If you don't like it, no soup for you. I saw that guy with a phone. You're an idiot. No soup for you. Next. Make it pet snails. That's interesting. Yeah, thank you, Omni. I'm like, because I mean, like, people argue, oh, but you're driving away customers. Well, I'm not trying to make a profit. Do I get soup? Yeah, you just get charged. You have to pay for the soup. Homeless people get soup for free. That is exactly what I'm basing it off of, Aaron. 100%. Because I'm going to do more than soup, but it's still called no soup for you. Yep. That's what it's based off of. Not gonna lie. You know how many times I've survived being homeless by like a food truck vendor just giving me a free hot dog or something, and that was the only thing I had eaten in 3 days? It was my like I preferred getting like food given to me from people than I did money when I was homeless because like I don't have to get up and wait for food or like struggle on like what is the cheapest thing I can afford. I can just eat. It's giving me a brilliant idea. Sets own house on fire. Well, listen, Audit Detective, you set your own house on fire, you will get 3 hots and a cot. On the taxpayer dime. That's a euphemism for jail, if anyone was wondering. Feel like that would attract customers, especially if the food is good. Well, I mean, it would attract the only customers that I give a shit about, and that's the people who understand that, like, it's my truck. I have the final say. Yeah, that's what I mean, Jorthulu. I don't aspire to greatness. I just aspire to having my bills paid. Not even by someone else, just like I just aspire to be able to cover my bills and my necessities in life and be comfortable. Which I've been saying for decades now. I've been saying online for a long time. And I say all the time when people ask me what I do on these streams like for work, I work at home. I
take care of this house for my boyfriend because his mom just died and he has to sell this house and somebody has to get it ready, and like that's what I do right now is I take care of him and the house and the cats. And little miss, my sister is so jealous of my success, suddenly comes out with, "I want to be a homemaker." So like, you want someone else to pay your bills, Lily? Is that what you're saying? You just wanna stay home and not work? No fucking way. You don't say. But at the same time, you wanna be a homemaker, which includes regularly doing dishes and mopping and sweeping and floors and cleaning and, you gotta clean baseboards and, like, up on the tops of shelves and, like, the top of light fixtures and shit. Like, there's a lot to clean in a house. You go help your wife pick up some trash and you permanently injure your back, but you wanna play Holly homemaker? With who? Your brother? Oh, see, whoever said the customer is always right is a moron. The thing is, that's not the full saying, Omni. What it is, and a lot of people get this wrong, is the full saying is the customer is always right in matters of taste. That's what that is. The whole thing is the customer is always right in matters of taste. So sure, you can tell me whether you like something or not, and you are always right in that regard. But that's it. That's where it stops. And like another one that I like to use when I was working in like fast food and customer service and shit is the customer is always right until I get your money. Then I've got your money. You're not right anymore. Goodbye. Do, do, do. I mean, I'll just sit on her ass stream and make videos. Is probably why she has those back problems. Yeah, and I mean, like, she gained like fucking 100 pounds in like a year, or fucking probably more than that in like a year. Girl looks like she's pushing 2 fucking 80. And given the fact we come from genetics that don't do well with fat because fat genetics means cholesterol problems, blood pressure problems, respiratory problems, gout. I'd crumble if I tried to go into fast food and I'm built for social interactions. I'm too built for confronting people, and that's why I don't do well. I don't care if I started there yesterday. I am the manager now. What do you want? It's really bad if I'm like one of the only white people on the team because then I get really defensive of my not white coworkers. Like, oh, no, 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 you're not going to be talking to them like that when I know you will be talking to me differently because of my skin color. We're not playing that game. Like, I get real uppity and I'm too eager to get in someone's face and it doesn't go well. I've uh I've jumped out a drive-through window at somebody. I've thrown things at people. I've spit in their food. I mean, don't piss off the person that handles your food. Don't say to my face with a big smile, "Oh my God, finally a white person at this window." Like, honey, no, I'm not gonna be playing that. I've been a waitress and a bartender as well. Oh, that's awesome. You're the best manager. No, I don't have it in me to manage. I can't even manage my own emotions. No, my BPD does not work well with work environments, to be quite honest. I don't do well with interpersonal relationships because
I'm not one to back down from a challenge. Like if you're going to get aggressive at me, I will get aggressive back. I'm not gonna oh, conflict resolution in the moment is not my best skill. But I'm also that's the thing, I'm just not afraid to be like especially when I have the white privilege card. I'm perfectly fine playing my white privilege card to the advantage of other people. This happened a lot at the KFC that I used to work at because like it was predominantly um it was it's a mix of different fucking ethnicities, but it was predominantly brown people. They were great. They were fantastic. I liked working with the majority of them. No, I think my only problems were with the white people there, yeah. Um, it was majority brown people, and English was their second language, so they had heavy accents or whatever. And the amount of times where, like, they would be on the drive-through speaker and, like, people would be giving them attitude, and the second I come through on the drive-through speaker, because English is my first language, they take a completely different fucking tone with me. They get to the window and I all I have is attitude for them. It's like, "I ain't got fucking time for you because 'cause you're a racist ass piece of shit, and I'm not doing this." Like, you're not gonna sit there and be pleasant talking to me when you can hear that I'm the white girl, but racist to the brown guy, like, have an attitude with the brown guy because he's got an accent and you only speak one language. Like, we're not gonna get mad at these people for being smarter than you are, okay? Just no. I wish I had the confidence like you have, Courtney. I mean, it's gotten me into some sticky situations. Never had my ass beat, but because if you can't win, don't play. I don't get into fights that I don't think I can win. The thing is, like, I'm used to arguing with adults in general because I grew up being taught to argue with adults. Like, my parents treated me more like a peer than their own child when they were raising me. So from a very young age, I was a very comfortable just no to like a fully grown adult, and that's never gone away. That's the parentification. And like I don't know, when you grow up with a sibling like I did, one that's constantly lying all the time in front of your face when you were there to know different, you're just like, bitch, what the fuck? It just becomes second nature to just call people out. It reminds me, my German teacher hated the people that would say, "This is America, you need to speak English during class." He said, once said, just waiting to hear one in a restaurant so I can confront them, right? That's my favorite when I see Karens in the wild being racist. My favorite is when they whip out, "Go back to where you came from." And I'm like, "Oh yeah, honey? Are you native?" Even when they're not talking to me, it's like, "Are you native? Are you indigenous?" "I am." "Well, guess what? That's likely because your white ancestors raped some natives. Shut the fuck up and move along." That one's my favorite when white people are like, "Go back to where you came from." I'm like a quarter native. "Yeah, because your British colonial ancestors raped a bunch of people, honey." Mm, sorry, not sorry. That's the reality. There was a good portion in time where it was like, marry the white man or die. Yeah, the parentification was not fun, I will not lie. I mean, eh, it it sucked the childhood out of my childhood because like I had enough of an understanding to understand adult problems, which means my mind was consumed with adult problems instead of like kid problems. Like half my mind was like consumed with like, oh God, I have to keep track of Lily. I need to pay attention to Lily. I need to take care of Lily because like mom and dad expect me to, and they push it off on me. And the second something happens, if I'm around, they're gonna be like, well, where were you, Courtney? Why didn't you step in? Why didn't you do something? And it got me in shit in school the odd time because, like, certain teachers really didn't like that I talked back, but that just made me talk back more, to be honest. My gym teachers in junior high specifically hated me. Um, she was a shitty gym teacher, though, she really was. All she would make us do was, like, run laps for, like, 90% of the class, and, like, when you're a teenager, when you're 16 and not even 16, you're like 14, 15 years old, you don't wanna be running laps for half of the day or like of a half of an hour. It doesn't matter if that hour's after lunch, before lunch, the first thing in the morning, wherever. So, like, yeah, I'd walk. I'm not she's like, "You need to run." I'm like, "I'm not running laps, and it's not like you're gonna be chasing me with a whip, so, like, no, just be thankful I'm moving." And then it got to the point where my dad wasn't even buying me gym clothes anymore, so, like, I'd show up to gym in jeans, and she's like, "You need to change into gym clothes." I'm like, "Well, I don't fucking have gym clothes to change into," so I'd have to sit on the fucking stage all, gym class because apparently you can't play sports in jeans. You can't walk laps in jeans. Anyway, she really didn't like me. So I always had an answer for her, and she used to say things to me like, I'm a bad influence on the other kids because I'm encouraging them to not run the laps because I'm not running laps." And I'm like, "Listen, I didn't tell nobody to do nothing, and regardless, we're all fucking peers here. I can't make them do shit just as much as you can't make them do shit. So this is not on me that they made a choice to do something." Like, no, stop it. So she started singling me out, so I started kinda getting more bratty and saying shit in class, and I even said straight to her face, I was like, "You know what they say? Those who can't do teach, and those who can't teach, teach gym class." Anyway, I ended up breaking my finger in that class. We were playing bump, which was a basketball game, and I remember it so clearly. The ball rebounded, I went to go grab it off the ground, like, really close to where it was bouncing off the ground, and it just came straight up on my finger like that, and, like, chipped a piece off of my knuckle. And I knew as soon as it happened that it broke because of just the amount of pain that I was in. But I had that reaction where you laugh at the pain. So I like start hopping away from the ball, shaking my hand, jumping up and down, laughing like an absolute maniac. Everyone's like, "Oh my God, Courtney, what the fuck is wrong with you?" I was like, "Oh, I just broke my finger." They're like, "No, you didn't." So they even get the teacher. They're like, "What's wrong?" And I'm like, "I broke my finger." They're like, "No, you didn't." They look at my finger. It's stuck like this. I can't straighten it. It's already starting to swell. And like, no, you're fine. Continue with gym class, go to math class, tell my math teacher I broke my finger in gym class. At this point, it's black in the knuckle here and like this big around at the knuckle. And they're like, "No, you're fine. You can do math class." It was on my right hand too, of course. It was this one. And fucking, I go home, tell my parents, "What happened? I broke my finger." "That's not broken. You're fine. I can't straighten it out past like here." It keeps folding to here, but it was sitting like at about here. And again, it's still black in the knuckle from the blood pooling. I get to the fucking hospital after talking my mom into taking me, and they're like, "That's not broken. You're fine." They take x-rays. The x-ray guy is like, "It's probably not broken." The doctor comes in, "It's broken." I was like, "You don't say?" So they put a soft cast on me, like, straightened it out to, like, I think I was stuck like this, so they straightened it out as much as they could, and then they put a soft cast on me that was open at the side, so I still had these 2 fingers, but these ones were immobilized. So I went to school the next day. I'm like, I'm not like, I'm still in class, I'm like, "No, I'm fine, I can work the pencil with these 2 fingers, I'm good, I can do things, I'm okay, like, it's whatever." Get to gym class, and my teacher just looks at me and goes, "Yeah, that's fake." I'm like, "What?" She's like, "Take it off, it's fake." I'm like, "No." She's like, "Yeah, it's fake." Like, "So you really think my parents just let me come to school with my dominant hand in a fake cast? Do you really think that's how it goes?" She hated me. Then I told her to fuck off, and then she told me to go to the principal's office. But the principal wasn't in, the vice principal wasn't in, so the French immersion teacher was acting as the vice principal. Um, and she sits me down. 'Cause I explicitly told the teacher to fuck off and leave me alone. And so she sits me down and she like the French immersion teacher sits me down, who doesn't like me because I have an attitude problem. And she's like, "Oh, what happened in gym class today?" I'm like, "Oh, you mean other than my teacher calling my cast fake and trying to make me take it off, despite the fact that my knuckle is broken?" And like I told her to leave me alone, and she's the French immersion teacher just goes, "I'm pretty sure you're missing a word or two in there." I'm like, "Well, if you know what I said, why the fuck are you asking me what I said?" Which, she absolutely loved, and she's like, "What's your number? I'm gonna call home." I was like, "Nobody's home." "Well, what's your dad's work number?" I'm like, "I don't know." She's like, "Well, what's your mom's work number?" I'm like, "I don't know." She's like, "Well, someone needs to come and get you." I'm like, "There's nobody to come and get me." So she's like, "Fine, go walk home." And just let me walk home without telling anybody I was leaving school property. I don't know how she didn't get fired. French immersion teacher absolutely hated me. Almost as much as my political science teacher. Oh, Mr. McLeod hated me so badly. Almost got him to throw a book at me once. French immersion teacher's like, "You speak French, so Imma teach you English." No, that's ASL, or ESL, which is English Second Language. French immersion is when you take the option to take all of your classes in French. So you do math in French, you do language arts, you do French language arts instead of like English language arts. So instead of English class, you have French language arts. You do your math in French, you do obviously your French classes in French, your history in French, like all of your classes are French because you're immersed in French to become bilingual. If you go through school in French immersion, then you come out with your high school diploma as well as a bilingual certificate. Was there a teacher that actually liked me? Oh, there's plenty. My history teacher in junior high, who was also the vice principal, he loved me. My math teacher in junior high, she loved me because like I loved math, so she could always like I would finish work early. Me and like one other girl in my class, we were really good at math, so we would finish early, and then she would give us more advanced stuff to do. So she really liked that because she could like exercise her chops as a teacher. Um, My French teacher, she loved me because I always had, I always had questions like, "Why?" Not just why, but, like, "Why is it this instead of that? Why does this work that way when this works that way?" Like, I always wanted to understand something, not just parrot it. My high school like, a lot of my teachers in high school liked me too. My law teacher in high school, he actually went to school with my uncle, so he knew my family. I also, eh, up until junior high, I had all the same teachers that Lily had. So like they would get me and be like, "Oh God, you're Lily's sister." And about a third of the way through the year, they're like, "Oh, you're nothing like your sister. Thank God." I'm like, "Yeah, yeah, don't worry." My sixth grade teacher had my mother's oldest in sixth grade, had Lily in sixth grade, and then had me in sixth grade. He probably like had like the most gist of what was going on at home. Um, so when I was in his class, I got preferential treatment because the dude knew what I was going through to an extent, to the point where, like, when I was in junior high, I could take the bus to the elementary school and, like, go hang out in his class for, like, the last, like, 20 minutes, half hour of class because he knew I didn't wanna go home. Um, my health teacher in junior high was absolutely amazing. He was the most fun teacher. Like, I liked school for the most part. Like, I liked learning, I liked understanding things, and I liked having them explained to me. I didn't like being brushed off. Based as fuck teacher. Yeah, that's the one that Lily said she totally had a crush on, and that's what made her think she was gay when she was identifying as a with her assigned gender at birth. He was cool. He was my favorite teacher. I had the biggest crush on him. I don't know about Lily. If she did, she never said it. I talked about Mark all the time because I had the biggest crush. I mean, let's be honest, I still do. I still do. Um, my first grade teacher, who was also my fourth grade teacher, she was great. She was like really, really strict, but I actually loved her as a teacher. Um, I remember a good majority of my teachers. Mr. McLeod, no, Mr. McLeod was the poli sci teacher. My history, my world history teacher in high school. He loved me, absolutely loved me because I would argue with him in class. Like he would always have this thing where sort of as a way of telling us to be like, grow the fuck up, act a little more mature, was he'd be like, guys, and he would draw this on the whiteboard and he'd be like, here's crayons and like here's perfume, right? Okay, you guys are going a little too far that way on the scale and we need you to go a little more farther this way, basically telling us to grow up like perfume instead of being babies like crayons. He wasn't mean about it. It was a fun little thing. So every time it came up, I would just be like, how about we split the difference and call it scented markers? And I always had something to say to him. So he was the one that always used to tell me, you'd make a good cop or a lawyer. Did you know that? Mm. Oh, stretch. My back hurts because I've been standing for like 3 hours now. All right, guys, I'm going to cut this here and go see my boyfriend and sit down for a while. I had fun and I hope you did too. Smooch. Have a good one, guys.